all we could just say is that something's wrong with the other person's brain. That is the only thing that we know about it.
Rather than just your physical well-being, mental health is also a very important aspect that a lot of people tend to neglect, especially parents. A lot of parents neglect. You say you're depressed, they say you're overreacting. You say that you're having really dark thoughts. They think you're just playing around to get attention.
If someone is physically ill, we do take care of them. But if they are mentally ill, it's like if somebody has diarrhea, it's like telling them कि it's okay, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. So mental health is like that. We just tell them कि it's okay, chill, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. But it's not like that. So people have to understand that it's as important as physical health, and we need to treat them accordingly.
But recently, over the past decade or so, I see that people have started to pay attention to small things like mental health, small details with regards to mental health, and that has contributed a lot towards changing the mentality that people have and improving the situation in general.
The main problems are that nobody would come up, they just keep it inside because of the social stigma, and also this taboo with mental health and even talking about it, even raising their voice for help is just very difficult nowadays.
Most people right now, their number one priority for their children is their education. So they want their children to study no matter what. They push aside whatever interest they have towards the sidelines. And when you do that, you're suppressing your child. You're suppressing what they really want to become. And by doing that, you're taking away what they want to be. You're silencing their voice. And when you silence someone, they're not able to speak. So their only resort is to vent it in. So that's a problem that a lot of us are facing, but we're just too scared to show it out loud and to tell people about it, because that is not something you should be proud of.
The thing is, people think that people will judge them if they say they have some mental issues. Like they will say that this person is mentally ill. Like if somebody goes and meets the psychiatrist, they never can tell openly that they're meeting the psychiatrist because people judge them. They think that this person is psychotic. So because of that, people find it difficult to speak about it.
Mental health is not a problem. That is not something that you lose the fear of within a day. You need time, you need proper inclusion of these topics in the education system, which we have seen over the past few years. People, young children, they know about mental health and awareness about getting treatment and things. So that's a great improvement. We followed the same regimen with a few improvements, of course, and we'll get there at one point in time.
Looking at the situation here in Shillong with the people, I feel like they are not much aware of this situation. Among the youth especially, you see this problem around, and it's really had an impact on their lives.
We cannot deny the fact that we live in the system, that there is always the apprehension. It is not it's not a stigma, but the thing is that people trying to avoid the people whom from their point of view that they may have that mental problem. More than 10,000 of the employed youth who are outside the state, who are employing in some form or other outside, but suddenly due to this pandemic they are returning to the state. So for all these years they have to some extent have that a way to sustain themselves, but now suddenly with this pandemic they don't know what to do. They are get used to the job which they are doing outside, and suddenly when they come here they are not prepared to face the situation suddenly here.
All my expectations have gone down the drain. Like, you've dreamed of so much, especially in the year 2020, but this pandemic has really shut everything down. And to be honest, I was really excited to start college next year, but I'm pretty sure because of the situation, it's gonna take a toll on that as well.
Everybody gets lonely, and everybody got lonely during that period. I myself have experienced that, but then as time went on, we started adjusting to it. But yeah, it has an impact. It has had an impact on my life. I've become a little paranoid as well, anxious, because if I see anybody gathering, like people gathering, I'm like, oh, I should stay away from them or something.
हाँ, स्टार्टिंग में था, जब 21 डेज़ का जो लॉकडाउन हुआ था, तो उस समय थोड़ा बहुत था, स्ट्रेस था कि घर का भाड़ा है, ये है, बहुत सारा था. लेकिन ये है कि चल गया, कोई दिक्कत नहीं हुआ, जैसे तैसे करके निकल गया, आराम हुआ. बट जब खुलने के बाद में जो मार्केट होना चाहिए था वो मार्केट नहीं था, एक्चुअली नहीं था। अभी भी वही प्रॉब्लम है, लेकिन ये कि अभी थोड़ा शॉर्ट आउट हो रहा है आस्ते आस्ते। तो 19-20 है, बट बढ़िया है, निकल रहा है।
The pandemic has obviously have a great toll on mental health, and people are committing suicide because they have lost their jobs and all that. So I think the pandemic has led to a lot of loneliness in people, but also for some people it's a time for self-realization and self-awareness, and so it's like a good thing and a bad thing. So it's causing a lot of depression and everything, but some people are getting aware of what they really want from life. Mental health is very difficult subject, and it's something which we can't really talk about, and we sometimes do not understand. Like some people have anxiety and they don't understand that they have anxiety. They just feel like they're always just overexcited and just nervous all the time. But once we realize that we have anxiety, and we can take the necessary steps to control it.
See, the thing is that it all starts at home actually. If your family themselves, they don't understand, who else we're supposed to understand? Because we go to our parents because we trust them, we believe them, and if we go to them and they don't answer to us, what happens then? So it all starts at home. I think parents need to be aware of the mental and physical toll that pressure of society is putting upon us.
The bonding between the family should be there, because the parent, the brothers, the sisters, they are the first who can diagnose that thing. But the problem lies is that the family try to hide the thing. They didn't want to tell the world that, oh, my children, they have some problem, mental problem, or they have some this issue. Hiding this issue at the initial stage will be compound the problem.
You really need to have a lot of patience with them. Patience is really important to deal with, people who have this kind of problem, because you really need to understand how their mind works, how they feel, how they approach things in their way. A simple thing that you think is not relevant to you can have a really big impact on them.
We hardly had the facilities or the abilities to study mental illness properly in the first place. All we could just say is that something's wrong with the other person's brain. That is the only thing that we know about it. But now we know the actual structure of it. Now we know the problems in depth. So yeah, that's a huge plus point for getting to understand and solving the entire problem. Before, people would be petrified to even think of asking about help, but now at least, even if it's not every single person with these issues coming up and asking for help, we at least see some percentage of that group of people coming out and asking for help.
I think the first and most important thing is to be aware yourself. It starts from individual, then comes your family, and then comes society. Because even if you think it's something so little, it isn't, because you'll bottle up those feelings. Little by little, they'll start eating you up from the inside, and when that happens, you're going to come crumbling down. So before that happens, you have to save yourself, because no one will do the saving for you. You need to be the hero in your own story.